All right, we've learned about both controls in part 1 and content views in part 2. The last UI element that I want to discuss in detail are temporary views. Let's get started.
So there are three types of temporary views. There's the alert, the action sheet, and modal view. Let's look at each of these in detail. So what it does, so here we are in the alert, and here's an image of what an alert, typically speaking, what an alert view looks like. Gives users important information that affects their use of an app or the device itself. Why use it? Draws users' attention to critical info regarding app usage and functionality, and when to use it. Affects functionality of app, right? So that's when you want to bring it up if you want to bring up an alert view if it's going to affect the functionality of an app. So if the user cancels or doesn't allow for location services, the app, you basically can't use the application. Or if you want to inform the user of some kind of problem. One thing to keep in mind in terms of UX, the user experience, when incorporating alerts in your application, that the less alerts you present, the more effective your alerts will be. Users do not like to be bothered by too many alerts while using an app. So decide what alerts, if any, are necessary. Alerts should provide users with 2 button options and no more. So in the example above, you see that they can go into their settings, or they can just simply cancel. Nope, I don't want this app to determine my location. Give alert view buttons short titles such as OK, cancel, view all, reply, or ignore. And then of course you want to always avoid providing the choices yes and no. Okay, so you don't want to have that text for your buttons. A few things to keep in mind in terms of the text of your alert views. Use as few words as possible. So I'm talking about this text up here. Use as few words as possible, but enough so users can understand the context of your message. Keep your alert title short, and then avoid using words you, your, me, and my in the alert title. Okay? Now we're going to head into the action sheet. What it does, displays a set of choices related to a task that the user initiates. Why use it? Provides users a range of choices to complete the current task without having a permanent place in the UI. When to use it? Of course, when the user completes a task. So the action sheet image above comes from the iOS email app or mail app. In the case of the email app, action sheets modally pop up from the bottom of the screen when the user taps on the flag icon or any other icon for that matter in this toolbar here. So user presses the flag icon, and this is the action sheet that modally appears, right? And it allows the user to complete a task. And then last but not least, we have the modal view. What it does, a view is presented modally, typically, like I said, from the bottom of the screen, and has its own functionality, right? So you press the compose message, a modal screen, a modal view pops up, and then it has its own functionality here. So why use it? To complete a self-contained task related to the application, and then when to use it, and you always want to allow the user to complete a task here. So that's it for temporary views. Temporary views should enhance the user experience, and allow users to complete a task. And that's about it for this lecture. Don't forget to that this is a 3-part lecture. So the first one is controls, second one is content view, and then we close out with the temporary views. I hope you guys are moving forward with your project 1. Please feel free to email me if you have any questions on anything. I'm more than happy to help you guys. Okay, aloha!